This boomer comment is so many layers of toxic, and I can't wait to break it down. Okay, so a number of my videos are addressing fellow Gen X and millennial kids, talking about our experience being parented by boomer and silent Gen parents. How so much abuse and neglect was rampant in our childhoods, and how it's really important to unpack that, to know that we're not alone, to work through it, and to break the cycle so that we don't perpetuate that abuse on our own kids. One of those things that I've talked about a fair amount is going low or no contact with toxic parents or other relatives. There's a lot of content on this app from Gen X and millennials who have said, I need to create a healthy boundary to keep myself and my children safe from my parents who continue to display a complete lack of self-awareness and to perpetuate toxic, harmful, hurtful behavior on me and my children. And that going low or no contact is not something that happens quickly or flippantly. It's something that folks have to choose after years and years and years of attempting to get their parent to accept responsibility, to learn to do better, to change their behavior, and it just doesn't work. So where does this comment come in? So on a video where I'm talking about this very situation, someone is lamenting their kids going no contact. And I noticed that there is a community on TikTok of older Gen X and boomer parents who are estranged from their children. Folks like Fired Mom who make content basically playing Darvo and victim blaming their kids. And this comment does an excellent job regurgitating a lot of the talking points from that cohort of folks. It's hard to not beat yourself up, but know that the no contact craze is very much a social contagion aired by over-therapized people without the tools to communicate and the responsibility in the role they play. When I say Darvo, this is what I'm talking about. Folks have been going no contact with toxic relatives for all of time. It was just called estrangement previously. And I know that a lot of boomer parents are really fearful of therapy because they don't want their kids to unpack what happened to them, and they don't want their kids to learn healthy boundaries. So they love to blame therapists for the no contact craze. Notice the wording, it's a social contagion. Instead of we're just not letting you abuse us anymore, and we're learning how to protect ourselves and our kids. And this last part, that children are failing to take responsibility for the role they play in the relationship with their parents. We're supposed to take responsibility for the abuse we experienced. We were children. Also, victims are never responsible for the abuse that they suffer. If you want a relationship with your kids and grandkids, this is not the way to get it. All we want is for you to accept responsibility, to change your behavior, and to do better. But you continue to double down. You continue to blame the children that you victimized. You are so emotionally fragile that you cannot look at the harm you have caused and take responsibility. You cannot handle the discomfort that comes along with facing the fact that you created this dynamic in this situation, and you are now reaping what you sowed. I think it's truly heartbreaking because everybody wants to have a healthy, loving, connected relationship with their parents. Everybody wants their kids to have loving, involved, healthy, safe grandparents. So you know it must be a dire situation for someone to go no contact.